Oh my god, hi guys. I've got to figure out how to use my camera because I just recorded about 5 minutes of video and it just deleted it. Or it didn't delete it, it just shut off, and I don't know how to how to stack videos because I'm technologically illiterate. So, anyways, I've seen a lot of pro-communist arguments from different people on Facebook and on YouTube. Like, there's this guy running for some political office in my state of Hawaii. I'm arguing with on Facebook right now. And then there's also the amazing atheist, and these communists, socialists, fascists, thieves, looters, all the same thing, con men. They all base a lot of their beliefs in reality and on economics onto this what I call, and other libertarians would call, the fixed pie fallacy. So their belief is that there's only a set amount of wealth in the world. Say it's a pie, okay? And the only way you can get that pie is by eating, taking it from someone else, because there's only a fixed amount, and whatever you take, you are essentially withholding from other people. So it's kind of like if you go to a pizza party and there's like 3 pizzas, and each pizza is cut into 8 slices, and there's 20 people, and you eat 3 slices, then that means there's one person there who's not going to be able to have a slice, you know? Or if you have 2 slices, then everyone's going to have 1 slice, you know, whatever. I'm not good at math right now. It's past my bedtime. So that's their fallacy. They believe that there's only a set amount of wealth in the world, and that poverty exists because some people have too much. And that's just bullshit. And I'm going to explain why. And this is a very simple disproof of the fixed pie fallacy that I've thought about for a while, that just kind of blows my mind that other people don't see this. And you might think, oh, that's bullshit. That's not a good reason. But just hear me out, okay? So the most obvious disproof of the fixed pie fallacy of economics is that shit exists. Things exist. People have stuff. And that stuff did not come out of nowhere. It had to have been created by people. Now, the last time I was trying to record this, I rambled on for about 5 minutes, and then I clicked out of my camera and I searched on Google for what the definition of wealth is, and it turned off my video, so I'm just going to tell you what it said. Wealth is an abundance of, I think it said assets or money, of things, material possessions. So I'm gonna simplify it, okay? This is the thing about money. This is what money is. Money is not... No one really values money. They value the things money can buy. And money is a tool that helps trade. So, real quick example. Say I grow apples and you grow bananas, and your friend over there grows peanuts. And I want... Fuck, I already forgot what things were. You have bananas, I have apples, he has peanuts. So I'm allergic to peanuts, and he wants my apples, but I'm not going to trade him my my apples for his peanuts because I'm allergic to peanuts. But I want your bananas or oranges or whatever it was you had. I've smoked so much weed in my life. My short-term memory is... So this guy, he's going to have to figure out a way. He's going to have to trade with you to get your bananas or whatever it was, and then see if I want to trade for some bananas. Maybe I actually want blueberries. So he's going to have to find the guy who has blueberries, or he's going to have to learn how to grow blueberries and then trade them to me for my stuff. And trade is just... It's good, but like barter, where you trade actual direct product for direct product, like that. People trade because they value the other person. Say I have an apple farm and I have 1,000 apples in my backyard. I can't eat all those apples. I would much rather give away or trade 900 of those apples or 950 of those apples for maybe a couple cloves of garlic and pounds of oranges and some watermelon and some kale and whatever, I mean, I can't just eat apples. I want other things. So I'm going to trade the apples I don't want for other things that I would like. Now, all money is just the middleman. So if you have something that you want to get rid of to gain something else, and I have something I want to get rid of, but I don't want the thing that you have to trade, we need some sort of medium of exchange everyone can agree to. So that's what money is. Money is something that everyone in a society agrees to having a certain set of value. Now, money as we know it is given value by law. And that's not how it would work in a free market. And that's something separate, talking about how shitty dollars are and the fiat currency, the printed paper money, because they can just print as much as they want and it loses value. But back to what we were talking about. Money is not wealth. Money is the tool to obtain wealth. That's what my little rant was about. Now, wealth is assets, is tools and resources that improve your life. If you have access to a dentist, like obviously I don't, if you have access to good food, access to a gym, access to information, access to space travel, access to a car, then you are wealthier than most people on Earth right now, than most people who have ever lived. Even if, and this is why they say you got to compare cost of living. Like people in Zimbabwe, back when they printed up all their money, they had wheelbarrows of their dollars, and they could barely buy a cup of coffee. So this fixed pie fallacy, the disproval, should exist. The wheel wasn't invented by someone stealing the wheel from someone else. And even if they did, who built the wheel the first time? Someone had to create it. Wealth is created by human thought, ingenuity, taking risks, willpower, strength, determination. Every virtue that human beings have is something that is used to create wealth. Now, my memories, like I said, is really shitty. I don't know if I said this in this video, but socialist communists, they think there's only this much wealth in reality, and that the more wealth you have is taking from other people, is wealth that they can't have. You're excluding other people from it. And this is and this can't be true, because if it were, then nothing ever would have come into creation, because you can't steal something if it's not there. You can't steal fire from someone who doesn't have fire, because if the only way to have fire is to steal it, then we wouldn't have had fire. Fire was wealth. The wheel was wealth, because it was a tool that made everyone's lives easier. That's all anything ever is. Anything that you can buy, anything that you can sell, is something that's going to improve someone's life in some way, in their opinion, objectively, subjectively. I bought this beer because I hadn't had beer in a long time, and I thought it would be nice, and I valued the 6-pack more than I valued my $8. I know, I spent $8 on a 6-pack of Miller Lite. I live in Hawaii, okay? Everything is expensive here. So people have things. Things have come into creation. You don't achieve wealth through theft. You can, but if that was the norm, then wealth would not exist. Because theft is not a mode of creation. Theft is a mode of taking from other people. Now, I think the reason that socialists and communists make this mistake all the time is because they themselves are thieves. And so they don't actually create anything. The government doesn't create anything. It doesn't create wealth. All it does is it takes from people through taxation, which is theft, and then gives to other people. And so, since this is how government works, that's the way that it has to, their philosophies have to develop off of the way that they work. And I think that's why they have this fixed pie fallacy, okay? Because you can only steal everything that exists. If that's the only way you think things can come into process, because I mean, if socialists understood economics and knew how to build shit, maybe they wouldn't be socialists. Because if you understand how to make shit better, you might have more people going to that side. There would probably be less people looking for state intervention if they didn't already have it drilled into their heads that you can't create things, you can't build things, you didn't build that. So, talking back, I don't know if I said this earlier. Fuck, I have this rule where I never watch my videos, because if I hear how my voice sounds, or if I think I look weird on camera or whatever, I might be discouraged from making more videos. So I was going to use this example again. I think I used it in my first video. So, access to information, for example. The Library of Alexandria, or Alexander, whatever. There was a library in the ancient world that there was like this big battle fought over, where some people, the Christians, I think the early Christians, they burnt it down, and it was like this huge setback in society. People, the rulers like Alexander the Great had libraries built because he understood the utility of having information readily available to a lot of people. You have a smarter society, more people are inventing things. Now, because of market developments, you carry in your pocket a device which has more information than that library did. So, those people back then, they had all the money, they had all the medium of exchange, but they didn't have the assets in their world. Okay, you can only buy products that are on the market. Your wealth, or your money, maybe we can just say money. Your money is only as valuable as the things you can buy with it, right? So the thing I'm trying to say is that there's no fixed pie, because you can just invent something, you can build something, and then you've created wealth. Now, as for exploitation of workers, even if that were the case, that still would disprove the pie fallacy, because the workers are the ones creating the wealth, and they're making the pie bigger. They're baking more pies. They're a fucking bakery, okay? If there was just a fixed pie, then exploiting workers wouldn't do anything, because it would just be the same piece of pie. You would still have to pay each worker a little bit of the pie, and that's less pie for you, right? So you would want the least amount of workers as possible. Now, this is something that has always kind of, at least in the past couple years, I should say, kind of thrown me off and really shown their bias, the bias of the left when it comes to economics. They'll say that the boss exploits his workers because he pays them the least amount that he can for the most amount of work that they can do. Yet they support unions, and unions or syndicates or whatever, I mean, they're different things. Unions and syndicates are different things. Whatever type of workers' organization or workers' bargaining power, they're really the same thing, just from different ends. So the boss is going to pay the lowest amount that he can for the most work. And the worker is going to take as much money as he can and work the least hard. Work the less that he has to. I mean, if my boss were to tell me, okay, I need 2 jobs done. I need you to pick up all the cigarette butts over there and all the loose bits of trash in the hot sun, and do all this shit that's not fun, and I'm going to give you $5 for it for an hour, or I'm going to give you $10 to drive this car down the road and listen to music. Obviously, I'm going to take option 2. Am I exploiting him? I mean, he needs my labor. So if I'm charging him more money for my labor, am I exploiting him? No. This is how supply and demand, right? You have the 2 X's, and where they meet in the middle is what your wage is going to be and how hard you work, and what the boss gets out of your stuff. Now, when other businesses come out, then the businesses have to compete for your labor, but they can't obviously they can't pay you nothing, because then you're not going to work for them. And they can't charge you more than you give them. Like, they pay for your labor because your labor makes them money. So if I'm making my boss $15 per hour of profit, he can't pay me $18 an hour. Then he's losing $3 every hour for hiring me. So he's going to have to fire me, or he's going to have to get more work out of me and increase my workload. So I feel like I kind of went off topic rambling about economics. But if you're a socialist or communist watching this video, please just go read some Henry Hazlitt and learn to create wealth, bro. Write a book, invent something, grow a garden, and sell some of your stuff. I mean, if there was a limited amount of supplies out there, then we wouldn't have built buildings, we wouldn't have built boats and ships and the internet and medical advancement, and we would still be living in the woods or whatever, getting chased by T-Rexes and dragons and sea monsters. And we would be living to 18 years old, 16 years old, having, 4 out of 5 pregnancies or miscarriages, and you lose your teeth and then you die of a cold or a spider bite or some shit. No, we have advanced because wealth has increased, because wealth has been created, and the money has been improving. Or I shouldn't say the money's been improving. The money has stayed the same, more or less, at least since we went off the gold standard. And even before then, gold stayed kind of the same, but the things that were on the market that it was able to buy had increased. So I guess really all I got to say on this. I ramble in my videos, but whatever. I make videos just so I can get used to making videos, so I can get used to talking and being put out to an audience, however big or small it is. So someday, once I get closer to publishing my book and I need to really get my face out there, I'm going to get better at editing videos and writing it out, my script or whatever. But I don't want this video to be too long. So that's it. There is no fixed pie of income or wealth. You create wealth when you work, when you think and come up with ideas, when you start a business. And the worker works because he values the money that the boss gives him more than he values that time. And he's willing to accept the labor in order to get the money. If a boss gives him a job that he doesn't like with not enough pay, he's not going to do the job well, and he's going to end up quitting. He's going to go somewhere else. Someone else is going to hire him. So that's it. Supply and demand, bitch. Read some Henry Hazlitt. Peace.